Turnstile.
Well, let's finish with a man who potentially is still big box office, Ricky Hatton. Tonight, the big question, will he or won't he retire? Have a listen to this.
I think the best example I could probably give you is like, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he said he was retired, but like most fighters, they can't stay retired, too long. And I'm hoping that, once I've had a good rest and recharge my batteries and, I'm sure my feet might start twitching and that hunger might come back and then I'll give it another go. At the minute, I don't feel that. And if you're going to go into training camp, and to the dieting, the road work every day and the sparring and everything, you've got to have that bit between your teeth. You've got to want to do it. At the minute, I'm not at that stage yet, but I'm sure that it could come back, once I've had the rest from it.
Now, he says, Mike, that he hopes he'll get the hunger back. Reading between the lines, looks like he could just be leaning towards a return.
Oh, I think so.
sometime.
I mean, this is a really strange one. Everyone outside boxing that I talk to can't believe he's even contemplating coming back after what they saw in Las Vegas against Manny Pacquiao with his mum and his girlfriend Jennifer crying at ringside, and they just take it that he's not coming back. How could he after that? But everybody in boxing is saying when. It's not if, it's when. And that was him just nudging another step down the line the other day. If you were to play the last interview I did with him, you'd realise that's one step further down the line towards a comeback. And who's to say it won't be against the man that Mayweather beat last weekend? That would suit Hatton too.
And that would be a great fight because Hatton could try and stop him. First person to stop him, I think, in 58 fights, 20-odd year career. Plus, it would create a sort of instant bridge back into super fights, which is not where I want to see Ricky go. Let me just tell you something. I did a sort of talking thing the other night up in Salford, Ellie, and I asked the
Bunsey
crowd.
on tour.
Yeah, Bunsey on tour, yeah, don't worry.
Coming soon to a venue near you.
Fim Fig Bar, Cambridge Heath Road on Tuesday night. Tickets on the door, tenner. You can get in from 8 o'clock, but that's neither here and I won't plug it. So I do a head count up there. I'm in Salford, Ricky Hatton's territory. His dad's there, his brother's there. And I say, okay, who wants Ricky Hatton to come back? Not one single hand goes up in the audience, okay? And there's a good few people there. And then I say, but who thinks he will come back? And when he comes back, who will pay? And every single hand goes up. Now, there is the conflict, one of the conflicts going on inside Ricky Hatton's head.
I'll just tell you something. When I did that interview, the clip you just heard there, it was last week at his gym that he's had built now, very close to where he was born and raised and went to school. And he's got posters all around the gym just about of every one of his fights. And for his first fight, his professional debut in 1997, it was at the Kingsway Leisure Centre in Widnes, was it?
Yeah, Widnes, Kingsway.
And top of the bill was Robin Reid. And Hatton isn't even mentioned.
Really?
He's got the poster up on his wall, but Hatton's name is not even on the poster. There are 6 or 7 names on the poster. His is not there. And it was just a signal of how far he came.
Yeah.
And another thing that struck me as well, we've been talking tonight about World Series of Boxing. Hatton was a good amateur, was an ABA champion, national champion, but didn't go on to do anything at the Olympics because the timing wasn't right. But he might be the kind of boxer that's tempted by World Series of Boxing, who's just won a national title and is seeing instant money, guaranteed money for 3 years. Whereas, other boxers will say all they're looking at is the dream of Vegas and World Championships. But there are some who would like the guarantee of a secure 3-year wage.
We talked in the first hour of the programme about sporting comebacks, Steve, in reference to Justine Henin, the fact that she's coming back and she's had a couple of years out of the game. But with boxing, if you've taken, a year or so out and you've allowed yourself to just go a bit, can you safely get back to being a realistic contender, back to your fighting weight again?
I say no if you let yourself go and if you live bad. Floyd Mayweather, we now know, trained every single day and sparred for a year. Bernard Hopkins, the great Bernard Hopkins, who's about 43 years of age, who's had about a year out now, and he'll just come back, he'll walk back into it like he hasn't had a break. He's the same way. They don't put on any weight. Guys that live like that do it. Ricky doesn't live like that. It doesn't make him a bad person. That's what makes him one of the most popular sportsmen in British boxing history. But I don't like the way he's lived, and I don't like the way he looks, and I don't want to see him back in the ring, and I won't be buying a ticket, and I might even think twice about doing the 5 Live commentary if he comes back. I feel that strongly about it.
And I think there's incontrovertible evidence that his punch resistance is waning. And if you look at what happened against Manny Pacquiao, and if you look at what happened against Mayweather, they're outstanding fighters, in my mind, great fighters, but not heavy hitters if you look back through what they've done.
By the way, Ellie, I am on tour with Ricky in November and December at various venues.
So you're back on tour in November and December with Ricky. When we meet